Camila joins us now from Vancouver, Canada. Welcome to the TH show. Congratulations on this. Could you have imagined the popularity of this show and now wrapping season 5?
I mean, yeah, we're actually still in the thick of it right now. We're like midway through season 5, but no, I could not have imagined. I mean, I was pursuing acting for as long as I can remember, and I even went to NYU for theater school, and like that was kind of like something I never thought that it would happen in that way, where like the first role I book is one that's like life changing, and that's kind of
Right.
something to dream of as an actor. So I'm very, very happy and grateful.
You know, I said that you were you're finishing, as you pointed out, you're in the middle, you're not wrapped yet. How soon? Because the show is built on plot twists. My 14-year-old niece one day was watching a couple of seasons ago. I walked by and I said, "What are you watching?" She said, "Riverdale." And I was like, "That's the show that's based on Archie." I sat down and I was hooked. After that, I think that was season 3. How far in advance, because of the drama, because of the twist, do you get the scripts?
I mean, it's funny this year, I think because of the pandemic, we've gotten scripts way ahead of time because they had so much time to kind of prep and um, get the scripts out to us. But normally we would get the scripts like a few days before shooting. But now we get like 4 scripts at a time, and we do this like massive table read over Zoom. And we get to like, you know, have the storylines kind of in our heads as we
Right.
prepare for
Do you
everything.
read? I mean, have you read some of the plot twists together as a cast? And do you look at Lily and say, "Are you kidding me? They're going to go crazy when this
I
happens."
mean, for the first season, especially when we were doing table reads, you know, in a room together, none of us had known about. It was kind of like the episode where the like murderer is revealed in the first season, and nobody knew who it was, and it was the first time we had all gotten the script, so we were all reading it together for the first time, and even the murderer himself didn't know
Oh my gosh.
that he was it, so he kind of found out as he was reading it, and it was pretty dramatic.
So this season, the characters have graduated high school. We flash forward 7 years. Veronica and the gang are now in their mid-20s. How different is this season now that they're not teenagers anymore, they're grown-ups dealing with a whole nother level of drama?
Exactly. And it's been so fun because we all just kind of got to reinvent our characters a little bit. Like there's a 7-year time jump. So it's like we get to play our characters a little bit more grown, a little bit more grounded. But to be honest, our show has always kind of been, I mean, it's a teen show, yes, but our teenagers are very much like young adults.
Yeah.
Like they're like my character as a teenager owned 3 businesses. So like
What
she was kind
teenager
of an adult
doesn't
at the
own 3
beginning.
businesses? Well, that is
Yeah,
true
and
because
they're like solving murder mysteries. Like they're kind of grown. They've
they
been through
are
a lot.
grown. They are grown. There are a couple
teenagers.
of moments where when I turn to my 50-year-old, she's now 50, I'm like, okay, close your eyes for a second and then turn back around because
Yeah.
I don't want you to get any ideas. But I think that's, again, why the show is such a success, because adults can find interesting things about these characters, but it's still on some weird level relatable to a 14-year-old, even though they will never have 3 businesses of their own. I think it's a chemistry, too. You
Yeah.
and the cast, I mentioned Lily Reinhardt and Madeleine Petsch. You have a joint TikTok account?
We did. Yeah, we do. We made one in our first quarantine here in Vancouver. And actually, yeah, we made one in our quarantine. The one that you're playing now is from not too long ago when we were bored at home.
What is it, 30 million views? 30 million views, I think, of this one that we're looking at now.
Yeah, it's a really fun thing that we decided to do because none of us really wanted to make one on our own. Like we thought it'd be much more fun to do one together. Because also having one on your own is like a responsibility, and I don't think either of us wanted that.
Okay, I love this day and age where it's a responsibility to have a TikTok account, so it's better to do it.
Unfortunately, it is.
Listen, I understand. Camila, you have so many projects going on. It's crazy. So you have the Golden Globe nominated movie with Andy Samberg, which is phenomenal. Congratulations on that. And then you are going to work with Pete Davidson, another SNL guy, and the show is produced by Kevin Hart, a comedy genius. They are keeping great company in you. I'm not going to say you're keeping good company. They're keeping great company with you.
That's really sweet. No, yeah, I'm really excited about those. I don't know when we're shooting American Soul specifically, but I'm so stoked to work with all of them.
And so with Andy in Palm Springs, what was that like for you? Especially again, because you've talked a lot about not wanting to be pigeonholed. You want people to see you more than the character Veronica on Riverdale, more
Right.
than a teen star. You've got this range, and you are looking for these lanes to prove that you've got it, and it obviously is paying off.
I mean, yeah, I was so lucky to have been in a comedy because I feel like that's something I definitely want to experiment with later in my career. And this was kind of a great place to start. I mean, Andy Samberg is like, and Kristen Milioti, like the best people to work with. This whole cast was like, I mean, it's just like there was a no bad people on set policy. So everyone was super nice, and it felt like this really loose, fun environment. And I don't know, I felt very lucky to be part of it all.
Well, you got, was it 25 million followers on Instagram? And I read where you talked about holding yourself to a higher standard. What do you mean by that?
I guess what I mean by that is just, I don't know, when I think about the career of acting, it can quickly become like a superficial, vain one if you're not thinking kind of like bigger picture with it. And when I try to think about my career, I'm like, okay, what do I want to do? I mean, this sounds cheesy, but like, what do I want to do for the world? How do I want to make a difference? And so for me, I feel like part of that is connecting with that younger audience that I have and kind of thinking, okay, when I was a teenager, what did I need from my teen idols? Like, what did I need them to tell me as a young girl? And so I think about it in that perspective. And then I also think about like just the fact that I'm a Latina trying to represent a community of people that are heavily underrepresented in this industry. And I think about what I can do for those people who need to see themselves represented.
Which you've made
So
the
it's
point with the character Veronica. I mean, obviously, this is a reimagining of the Archie comics. And here you have Veronica. She's from a Latin family, affluent family. And you've shared that in your own personal life, you've faced discrimination when auditioning for roles, that this is still real. I mean, these things just don't happen to people over 60 or over 50. Some of those obstacles still exist, and you fight to break down those walls in auditions and in other places of your life.
right. I know it's important it's important to display Latinx people not just as like the poor underdogs, you know what I mean? But like people who can be successful and conquer. I think that's like a very empowering message to send to our audience.
And when you
For
hear
sure.
back from the audience that they've heard the message, they see it in you, and you make them even more proud to be a part of the Latinx community in fighting these stereotypes. What does that mean to you?
Oh my gosh. It like makes me want to cry, to be honest, because I think about, I don't know, when I think about me, and this is actually something I've been talking about in therapy a lot, but I think about like me as a young girl, always feeling like I was like a supporting role to like my white counterparts. Like even just in like friendships, it was always like, I'm here to make you look good. And I'm here to be like the funny, side character that you can like bounce back off of. And just to like think about how now we're kind of going in a direction where like people of color can be leads and can like drive a story and be protagonists. Like that is something that we need to see more of.
Well, we're seeing it in you with all of the great work that you're doing. You're going to make me cry. I mean, seriously, that's why I'm happy that my nieces have someone like you to look up to, because you do keep it real and you do take us on the personal journey of life. And then in the process, you do great work. And that's why you're part of that Golden Globe nominated movie. I mean, you're gonna make me cry. Oh my gosh, I told you, Pete Davidson, Kevin Hart, Andy Samberg, they're keeping great company by hanging out with you. You elevated their game. Thank you so much, Camila.
Thank you so much.
Oh, congratulations.
For having me.
I didn't know I was gonna weep through this interview. Camila is in Riverdale, airs Wednesday on the CW.